how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the topic science and technology for the February month. The session will be quite interesting and important, students, so stay tuned with us till the end. We upload the daily current affairs video at 5 a.m. in the morning. Weekly current affairs, monthly current affairs and topic wise are uploaded regularly to help you prepare better for the competitive exams. Also students, if you are new to our channel, do subscribe to us. We are one-stop solution for current affairs, and share the link of this video with your friends, cousins, relatives, neighbors, and let them know about this interesting platform.
Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code VIKAS10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below. So students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description.
First question is, identify the company that recently signed a memorandum of understanding with GRSE, that is Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, for 5 years to strengthen India defense and aerospace capabilities. It is Apollo Micro Systems. This collaboration will address the need of the present and the future need of the Indian Defense Forces. Next, who has been recently selected as the pilot for the Axiom 4 mission, becoming the first Indian astronaut to go to the International Space Station on a private mission. So, Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla was appointed as the pilot for the Axiom 4 mission, and he became the first Indian astronaut to go to the International Space Station on a private mission. And this Axiom space mission is of NASA. Next, mention the defense system that DRDO successfully conducted 3 consecutive flight trials from Integrated Test Range Chandipur, Odisha in Feb 2025. It is very short range air defense system. These tests were conducted against high speed targets flying at a very low altitude. Next, the Indian Navy launched its 9th ammunition cum torpedo cum missile barge called Landing Ship Ammunition 23 at Suryadipta Projects Private Limited in Thane, Maharashtra. This ACTCM barge was designed and constructed by which organization? It was by MSME Shipyard in collaboration with the Indian ship designing firm and Indian Shipping Registry or Indian Register of Shipping. Next, identify the navigation satellite that was launched by the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency JAXA using their HC rocket from the TNSC in Japan. So, name that navigation satellite. It is Michibiki 6. Next, and one more thing students, here remember, question can also be asked, this S3 rocket is of which organization? It is of Japan country and the organization here is JAXA. Next is, during the 92nd USA spacewalk, which astronaut set the new record of a total spacewalk time by women? She is Sunita Williams, and she was recently brought back to from International Space Station to Earth, right? And along him, who was the other astronaut? Butch Wilmore. It was brought back by Crew 9 mission, and it was Dragon capsule that brought them back here. Next, identify the super application that was recently introduced by the Ministry of Railways to provide one-stop solution for Indian Railways services. It is Swarel. It is Swarel. Next, the latest version of the finite element analysis of structure, that is FEAST software, was launched by Dash at the 8th National Finite Element Developers Meeting at the IIT Hyderabad in Telangana. It is by ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Next is, how many MQ-9B Predator drones were procured from General Atomics USA as approved by the Cabinet Committee on Security chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a strategic defense projects in Feb 2025. It is 31 MQ-9B Predator drones that were procured here. And this deal includes 16 Sky Guardians and 15 Sea Guardian variants. Next, name the rocket that was launched by the Russia from Plastek Cosmodrome to deploy military satellites into orbit. It is Soyuz 2.1V rocket. Next, United States Navy successfully tested the high energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance system, that is Helios system, using the Algerburg class guided missile destroyer. Question asked is this Helios system was developed by whom? It was developed by Lockheed Martin Group. Next, in Feb, Spin launched, they developed an innovative method of dash to launch satellites into the low Earth orbit without traditional rocket fuel. So in Feb, this Spin launch, this is a traditional method which is using the centrifugal force in order to rotate the satellites at a very high speed and then launch it into the space. So this is an innovative method developed by the electric powered kinetic launch mechanism. Next, identify the company that recently delivered their latest anti-tank 4 weapons to the Indian Armed Forces in February month. It is Saab AB. It is Sweden-based company. Next, in Feb, the Shenzhou 19 crew on China's Tiangong space station successfully produced oxygen, right? And this was done through artificial photosynthesis. Quite an interesting and important question. So using artificial photosynthesis, oxygen and rocket fuel were produced at the Tiangong space station, that is the space station of China. Next is which company successfully completed the 29th New Shepard flight in Feb, simulating lunar gravity for the first time. It is Blue Origin. Take a note of this, and this Blue Origin is of Jeff Bezos. Next, name the drone carrier warship that was commissioned by Iran for the first time into the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy in the Persian Gulf. So, what is the name of the drone carrier? It is Shahid Bagheri. Shahid Bagheri. This is the name of the drone carrier and it is of Iran. Next, identify the cryogenic engine that ISRO successfully carried out the ignition trial for the upper stage of launch vehicle Mark III in Feb 2025. It is CE-20. Take a note of it. And as per ISRO, the multi-element igniter within the engine has successfully simulated the engine ignition in the vacuum condition of space. Next, identify the organization that recently collaborated with the CNSA, that is China National Space Administration, to include Pakistan's first lunar rover in the China's Chang'e mission scheduled for 2028. So, which is that organization that collaborated with CNSA? It is the Space and Upper Atmosphere Research Commission of Pakistan. Next, which Indian institute collaborated with ISRO's Inertial System Unit to design and develop semiconductor chips, that is indigenous RISC-V controller for space application by the name IRIS, that is indigenous RISC-V controller for space application, and it was developed in Feb. Which is that IIT? It is Indian Institute of Madras. Next, in Feb, SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched a batch of 21 Starlink satellites. It was launched into the low Earth orbit, marking a significant step in expanding its satellite internet network. And in India, they are partnering with Airtel and Jio to provide internet services using the Starlink. Next, in Feb, Indo-Russian Rifles Private Limited, they have delivered 40,000 units of what? They delivered the 40,000 units of AK-203 assault rifles to the Indian Army, and these rifles will be delivered or they will be manufactured at the Korwa Ordnance Factory, that is in Amethi in Uttar Pradesh. Next, which organization partnered with the Aeronautical Development Agency to develop high strength, high toughness, special grade steel, that is MDN 100 for aerospace applications? It is Mishra Dhatu Nigam Limited. Moving on, Indian ship design firm along with which organization designed and built the Indian Navy 8th missile cum ammunition barge launched on 14th of Feb in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So which is that Indian ship design firm? It is IRS, Indian Register of Shipping. Next, identify the organization that developed and tested India's 4th generation deep ocean submersible Matsya 6000 under the Samudriyan project in Feb 2025. It is National Institute of Ocean Technology, that is NIOT. Next, identify the spectrograph that was used by the scientist at the Physical Research Laboratory to discover the exoplanet. This is the exoplanet in Feb 2025. So, name that spectrograph. It is which spectrograph that was used here. So, it is your Advanced Radial Velocity All Sky Research tool that was used to discover this exoplanet. Next, name the new communication satellite that was launched by China using the Long March 3B carrier rocket into geosynchronous transfer orbit to replace China Sat 10. So name that communication satellite. It is China Sat 10R. So China Sat 10R will be replacing China Sat 10. Next, which mission data was used to generate the first ever detailed geological map of the moon's south pole in Feb 2025? It is Chandrayaan 3. Take a note of this. First ever detailed geological map of the moon's south pole. Moving on, identify the missile that was jointly tested by DRDO and Indian Navy at the ITR Chandipur, Odisha in Feb 2025. It is Naval Anti-Ship Missile Short Range. Next, name the lunar lander that was carried aboard SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket at the third moon landing mission of 2025 Intuitive Machines from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in USA. It is Athena. Take a note. Next, students, that's all for the day. Now let's move to the revision part that will be beneficial for your learning.
Come students, let's revise some one-liners. Let's start with appointments and resignation. Biren Singh has quit as the chief minister after 2 years in Manipur violence. Then Nokia, they have picked Intel's AI and data center leader Justin Hotard as their new CEO. Then Charanjit Singh Nanda has been elected as the ICAI president for the term FY26. Shikhar appointed as the brand ambassador of the ICC Championship Trophy 2025. If we talk about the awards, Tamil film Bad Girl has won the NETPAC award at International Film Festival that was held in Rotterdam. Then Indian student has won the bronze at the Global Best MGOM Award 2025 held in Dubai. Next, India's retail inflation in January eases to 4.3%. Exim Bank, they will be providing $300 million credit to Vietnam for boats and petrol vessels. Then Decentro has unveiled India's first self-hosted CKYC solutions to align with the CER-SCI's new compliance mandate. Then Union Mutual Fund has launched 2 new schemes that is for structured gold investments. RBI, they have lifted the restrictions on Kotak Mahindra Bank on onboarding the new customers. SEBI, they have launched Mitra that will help the investors track inactive mutual fund portfolios. Then RBI will be issuing 50 rupees denomination banknotes with signature of the new governor Malhotra ji. Then SIDBI and AFD, this AFD is of France, and SIDBI, they have signed a $100 million deal that will boost the green finance for the Indian MSMEs. And Small Finance Bank, they will get they have got the RBI's approval to provide credit line on UPI. Next is related to sports students. FIFA, they have suspended Pakistan Football Federation after failure to amend the constitution. Then Tarundeep Rai has won bronze in the men's recurve archery at the 38th National Games. Emi Maguire suspended from bowling in international cricket. Then Real Madrid legend Marcelo has announced retirement from football. 9th Asian Winter Games started in Hebron. Then Varun Chakrabarti became the second oldest cricketer to make the ODI debut for India. Then former Sri Lankan captain Dimuth Karunarate has retired from international cricket. Jill Teichmann has won the Mumbai Open 2025 tennis tournament, and Reliance Industries Limited, they acquired 49% stake in London-based Oval Invincible cricket team. So these were your one-liner current affairs students. Now let's further move to the content.
Next is, which of the following brands was topped as the most valued brand in India according to the India Value Ranking 2025 released by YouGov in March 2025? It is Amazon. Correct, it has topped here. Next, who received the 2026 The World of Academy Science Award in Engineering and Computer Sciences by UNESCO in March 25? So, Suman Chakrabarti, right, received the 2026 World Academy of Science Award in Engineering and Computer Science given by UNESCO, right? And his research focuses on affordable, simple to execute innovative diagnostic solution in the medical sector. Next, in March, RBI approved a 1-year extension to Sumant Katpalia as the MD and CEO of which of the following banks until 23rd of March 2026. So it is in the same bank, right? Take a note of this. Next is, Identify the company that collaborated with Himachal Pradesh government in March to set up India's first integrated manufacturing facility for active pharmaceutical ingredients, that is for green hydrogen and 2G ethanol in solar districts. And you can see both of these are your green fuels. Correct. So identify the company that collaborated here with Himachal Pradesh government. It is your Spray Engineering Device Limited, right? And they will be setting up a first integrated manufacturing facility for pharmaceutical ingredients, right? And for green hydrogen and your 2G ethanol. Correct. And this project will be costing around 1400 crore rupees, and it is expected to create more than 1000 jobs or employment. Next, mention the electric vehicle manufacturer that recently became the first in India to receive incentives under the Product Linked Incentive Scheme for Automation and Auto Components. Right, this is your PLI scheme under which a certain threshold or a certain expectation is met. For example, there was a pre-decided number that if a company or an organization achieves so and so production, then in that case they will be provided with some incentives, right? So it is Ola Electric Mobility Private Limited. This is the electric vehicle manufacturer that became the first in India to receive incentives under the PLI scheme. Next is pick out the correct statement regarding the inauguration of Gujarat Semi-Connect Conference held from 5th to 7th of March. If we look at the options here, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, identify the union territory where Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the phase 1 of the Namo Hospital during the 2-hour visit in March 2025. It is your Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, right? These are the union territory. This is the union territory where PM Modi inaugurated the phase 1 of the Namo Hospital. Next is Madhav National Park of which state was recently declared as the 58th Tiger Reserve of India, also making it the 9th Tiger Reserve in that state. It is Madhya Pradesh. Correct. Take a note of this. It is your 9th Tiger Reserve of Madhya Pradesh. Next, which of the following countries did not participate in the Sea Dragon 25 multilateral naval exercise held from 14th to 19th of March? It is France. Correct. Take a note of this. It is not France that took part. So rest of them, India, Australia, Japan and Korea, all of them took part except of France. Next, mention the Indian state that won the 2 awards at the Pacific Area Travel Writers Association, that is Patwa International Awards, during the International Tourism Berlin 2025 held in Germany. So where was this held? It was held in Germany. Correct. And which Indian state has won 2 awards at the Patwa International Awards, that is Pacific Area Travel Writers Association? It is Goa state. Right. Take a note of this. And this was the 25th edition of this Patwa. Next is which of the following insurance companies was not ranked among the top 5 strongest insurance brands globally as per the Brand Finance Insurance 100 report in March 2025. So right option here is State Bank of India Life Insurance Company. Correct. This is the company that has not ranked among the top 5. So these are the top 5. PZU first, China Life second, NRMA Insurance fourth, as this LIC and China Life Insurance, they both secured second position, right? So NRMA Insurance Australia was on the 4th position. Correct. And Unipol sat at the 5th position. Next, in March, India won the 6th edition of the Asia Women's Kabaddi Championship by defeating whom? They defeated Iran in the finals here, right? This was the 6th edition of the Asian Women's Kabaddi Championship. Next, UN's United Nations International Women's Day annually observed across the globe on 8th of March. What is the theme for this International Women's Day? The theme here being for all women and girls, rights, equality and empowerment. And this year it marks the 50th edition of the UN's official commemoration of the International Women's Day. Next, identify the country that became the Razorpay's second Southeast Asian market after Malaysia. It is Singapore. Next, in March, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare released the second advance estimate for the production of major agriculture crops for Kharif and Rabi. Pick out the correct statement. If we look at them, option A and option B are right, C is wrong. C is saying that the Kharif maize production is expected to hit a record of 1206.79 lakh metric tons, while Rabi's maize production is estimated at 157. So, is it correct? So, for Kharif, it is 1206.79 percent production that is to be achieved.